Hello, spiritual seekers. Hello, everybody. I am Deanna, and I am the Akashic record reader at For Heaven's Sake book in Denver, Colorado on Thursdays. And I help spiritually sensitive, wake and aware people to learn more about themselves, take their power back, and raise their frequency so they can know what's happening on the crazy planet we're living in 2024. Welcome aboard, everybody. So, I'm going to do tonight first a reading for the collective consciousness. My internet is so slow. It took me a couple times even to get on tonight. So, if you're watching this on Facebook, you might find that it's a little slow or a little glitchy. Oh, goodness gravy. They give us the internet and it's like crack. When you can't get it, you want it. Anyway. So welcome aboard, everybody, over here on Instagram, Facebook on For Heaven's Sake, and Facebook on my private account. And so tonight we're going to talk about what's happening on the planet. Then I'm going to talk about what's happening this coming up week, do a reading for the collective consciousness, and then if there's any questions, I'll take questions. So what is going on right now is scientifically, we have the magnetic inner part of the sun turning, and apparently this happens every so often, and it can create different flares. It can actually lose our internet, believe it or not, and sometimes it can knock out electrical systems. So it just depends on, how traumatic this switch is. It also affects us as human beings with our bioelectromagnetic frequency. Remember, you are a biological, electric, that's what runs your body and your heart, and magnetic person. This is what we all are. And that's why people, when they talk about the secret and manifesting, if you focus on what you want, you're sending a signal out to the universe, and the universe brings that back and will answer you. And so this is where we're at. And last week, I believe it was last week, I had a lot of people texting me, oh my gosh, Deanna, what's happening? The Schumann stopped for 12 hours. The pooey. Schumann's did not stop. Schumann's, for those of you who don't know, is called Schumann's resonance, which is the heartbeat of the earth. And you can look up Mr. Schumann and what he did, and it measures a lot of different frequencies for the planet. There's all different kinds. I'm still learning about it, but it's basically like taking an ion and throwing it like a ball and watching a boom boom boom, depending on what the frequency of the planet is, which controls our minds. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, it controls our thoughts. It controls the way our hearts beat, whether we're conscious of it or not. Welcome to the planet. Anyway, so when this happened, a lot of people called me freaking out, and I used to do the Schumann's charts on here. And if you've ever seen one, it looks like it's mostly blue, and then it looks like colors coming down, streaming in a white or a blue or red color. And so the more white you have is a different frequency disturbance than others. But anyway, that's teaching for another day. But during that time, people were freaking out because Schumann's was really quiet, mostly blue. And then it got to a point where pretty much the whole graph was filled with color. And a lot of it, just a lot of noise. And so many people said, well, what happened? Well, there was speculation. We went into a different paradigm, or we shifted into this or that. And you all, I'm telling you, 2024, listen to me if you hear nothing else tonight. 2024 is going to be a poop show with all kinds of stuff being said from all kinds of people. Social platforms included, news media. And you're not really, unless you're centered and balanced within, going to know what's really real. And I have businessmen and entrepreneurs and millionaires that are very super intelligent, that follow the news, that follow the stock markets, that follow the trends, that follow the politics. And they've all told me, it's an unsteady time and they don't know what's coming next. So what am I saying? I'm saying this is a hugely dynamic time to be centered within yourself. Not ego. Centered within yourself, if you have ever looked at this big, thick book written a bazillion years ago called the canonized version of the Bible, a lot of you had religion thrown at you, stuffed down your throat, whatever. Throw that out, okay? The book itself is historical records of different things. And it talks a lot in there about metaphysics. Believe it or not, if you're interested, you go look up, you can do it fairly easily on the internet these days, put on the whole armor of God. And if you look at what it's describing and you think about your 7 major chakras, hello. Anyway, but what I'm saying to you is that these times we're going through are extremely energetically dynamic, like when the Schumanns and everybody thought it went off line for 12 hours. So sometimes the instruments that register Schumanns will go dead, and the chart will literally be blank, look like a white piece of paper. And this was just all blue and looked like nothing registered. Well, it did, but it was just very small. And that was right before all the planets went direct. And once all the planets went direct, boom. And we've seen a lot of things since then. So on this broadcast, I do the best I can not to be political, because that's not my deal. But I am going to ask you to look at the current reality you're living in as a chessboard. 2024, I want you to think of it as a chessboard. And if you have never played chess before, maybe you played checkers, maybe you played Risk, something as a kid, strategies, thinking, step by step. And that's what 2024 is about. Whether you are a political person or not, this year, 2024, is about a step-by-step process, and where are you going? Mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, energetically. And I am telling you, I have been telling you for over 10 years, you have got to be centered, and you've got to ask Spirit, the chi that flows through you, to help you see the truth, the love, and the light. That's it. The truth, the love, and the light. Because there is going to be so much going on. I have 2 advisors that will send me reports on what they see happening on the world scene. If you really want to know where people's minds are, go look at the stock market. Okay, it's going to be up and down and up and down, and God love you. If you know how to play that stock market, you could win a whole bunch of money this year. If you don't, you could end up tanking yourself. If you have that inner connection, that peace within, and especially this week with the way the planets are lining up, it affects the electromagnetic frequency. And when those planets line up in a particular position and it affects us as human beings, you're going to see the world leaders being affected by that as well, whether you like or don't like what they're doing. And this year, a lot of things are going to be revealed. And so if you are centered and your connection is clear with Spirit, you will know what is real and what isn't real. And that's why you have to, or if you choose to take the mission, steady out the ego, okay? Ego stands for edging good out, edging God out. So anything that's causing you to be highly anxious, anything that's causing you to not consider where you are in space and time and say, you know what, this is what has been in my life. This is a story I've been telling myself. It's crap. It's not doing me any good. And you throw it out. And really, what's good for me? What feels good, And a lot of you last week came to see me at the bookstore. Mwah, mwah. Everybody who did. You all realize your pictures are about this big. So when you come and see me, you say, hey, I saw you on the broadcast, really helps. Because then I might recognize you, your energy. But a lot of you came to me and you're like, I'm really anxious about a relationship. And right around the corner is Valentine's Day, or as we like to call it, National Remind Me I'm Single Day. Anyway, when you're in a relationship, there's things that may not feel good. And there's things that may feel good. And so there's an inner struggle right now, too, with that, because you're just trying to shape up your own schmeggin' self. And then you have to deal with other folks or interact with other folks. Have to deal with is kind of titchy. So in this alignment with all the planets direct, go look that up if you don't know what it means. It is moving the frequency of our bodies to be aligned with spirit, God or source. And if you've seen enough of Egyptian drawings, you see the Eye of Horus. And then if you go look at an anatomy book and you look at the pineal gland, they match. Okay, there's a lot of traditions and there's a lot of isms and religions and beliefs that if you look at them, they all have a central focus and they come together. And so in that, in the Bible again, it says the kingdom of heaven is within. How many of you that have ever heard that scripture at church stop to think about what they were saying? The kingdom of God is within. Not the afterlife, not what you're seeking, it's within. And the reason it is, I think it's the pineal gland myself, but it's also been revealed to me by my guides that the kingdom of heaven, the fifth dimensional frequency, show of hands or thumbs up, how many of you have heard the fifth dimension? We're going to the fifth dimension, or this last Schumann's took us there. You know, if we were in the fifth dimension, we'd all be walking around in a perpetual state of love. We have an opening so that our spiritual consciousness can now connect easier to the fifth dimension, which brings love down through us. That's been going on for years. So my question is, all right, have you got your ego in check? What are you doing? And if you're in another relationship right now, I'm telling you, this week is not a good time to pick a fight, period. Because everybody's being pushed, if you will, the frequency is causing a density within us to look at what's within our beautiful selves. The kingdom of heaven is within. That means having your gut chakra healed up, maybe abuse or trauma, where you were told you were wrong when your spidey senses were right on the money. That means being able to open your heart as an empath to help bring that divine love through and also have safe boundaries. Otherwise, you feel like people plug into you and you get drained and feel like a prune. Can I get a hallelujah? So that's where things are this week. Last week, I was at the bookstore Thursday and Friday, seeing people live, and over again, that's all I heard, was the relationship within, realizing importance of self, doing better self-care. I am telling you from the bottom of my heart, if you don't take care of yourself and your mental and physical well-being the best you can, then as 2024 comes on, it's not going to be good. So let me have you think about this in a way that I learned in a Kung Fu class, okay? And then I'm going to go on and do a reading for the collective consciousness. And I'm going to look at some questions. Actually, I'll look at the questions first, or comments. If you have a question or comment, put it right down here. Same over here for my Facebook peeps on my private channel. I am going to refresh the screen, so if you all have any comments. Sometimes on my personal Facebook channel that I'm on also at the same time, I don't see the comments till after. So if I miss your comment, I will come back to you later, and I'll, put it in there and put a thumbs up. So please do not be offended. I love you all, and I will answer as many questions as I can. I just don't always see them, okay? Technical issues here. Okay. Where was I? Oh, yes. So here's what I want you to imagine for 2024. If you're physically capable, because I know we have some people that are struggling with their health, if you stand up and put both of your feet flat on the floor, and then you put one foot slightly in front of the other, just a little bit, and then bring your feet out a little bit. So basically your feet will line up straight with your shoulders, and one foot will be slightly in front of the other. Now, if I try to punch you, which I never would, it's easy for you to duck because you've got 2 feet not only flat on the floor, but one in front of the other. So you can lean backwards, you can lean forward, you can lean side to side, much more mobile. Now, that is an empath, a highly sensitive person who is centered, who is balanced, who's working on themselves, who has a connection to the divine and Earth Mother. And they are doing it. And that's the other thing about this alignment. And right now, where we are getting ready to go into February, it's about taking action the best you can. Even if you feel you're broken, even if you feel you're fragile, take a step in the right direction. Can I get an amen? Can I get a hallelujah? Can I get a thumbs up or a frowny face if you think I'm full of it? This is where 2024 is. Now, I want you to imagine your feet together. Feet together. And now I walk up and I push you on your shoulder. What do you think the chances are that you're going to catch yourself if I give you a good push and your feet are together? Not too good, because your center of gravity is smaller and it's easier to strike and get you to fall over. Again, not that I would. You all know I'm more of a lover than a fighter. Except in the spiritual realm. You all know that, who've had me remove entities from your house or hexes or curses. You know, I'm not playing there. But what I'm saying to you is 2024 is about putting yourself in a better position. It doesn't matter where you're starting. It matters that you know where you desire to go. You need to have an end game, a goal, even if it's only 4 weeks of a goal, because that's what's going to keep you going coming these times, period. And if you want to mark this video and you want to come back 4 weeks from now and watch it, go for it. I don't have the staff to go back through my videos where I've predicted things and they say, see, it's right here. I wish I did, but I'm not there yet. Not yet. All right, let's go back and let's look at some questions. Okay, so I've got one person over here says, unfortunately, you keep breaking up. I'm so sorry. The internet is very slow. I don't know if it's because the sun is changing in this polarity, or maybe the ambiguous they don't want you to hear it. I don't know. Hopefully, if you can hit the replay, it would come through and be more steady. Thank you so much for letting me know. All right, next question. Let's see, I'm putting a like, not that I like the internet slow, but at least you know that I've seen your comment. All right, JJ, thank you so much for sharing the message tonight. Thank you very much. It's much appreciated. And the crack reference made me pause and think and then laugh myself. Thank you, JJ. You're awesome. You know I like to laugh. My home cameras go into snow screen when I'm channeling. Absolutely. JJ, if you're still on, there are so many things that happen. I've actually can relate to that. I've had computers blow out. No light bulbs yet. I know some people have that gift. All right, let's go over here to Instagram. Hi to Neptune. Hi to BNK. Glad you're aboard. Good to see you tonight. Neptune says, I've been preaching this to the people in my life. Self-love is so important. Absolutely, Neptune. Big hearts to you. And again, please, if you're listening attentively, you remember, for those of you old enough to remember, when we had Sesame Street, dating myself, and they would take words and they would say, part of a word and another part of a word and bring it together and make a whole word. Well, or they would say one of these things are not like the others. I want you to know, take a breath, listen, focus. Self-love does not equal being self-centered. Self-love does not equal being self-centered. self-centered. Okay? So if you're taking care of yourself and somebody says you're self-centered or selfish, check yourself. If you're not, then they're full of it. For those of us that have children, taking care of ourselves can be challenging, especially if you have little ones, because they need love, they need affection, they need attention. And they need attention and affection from us. And if we don't get it, we don't receive. If our cup isn't full, we can't give it. And so there's a little boundary drawing that may go on there, or you can have someone come help you. That's even better. All right. Sherry says, I'm feeling very in tune to what you are saying. It feels amazing. Yay! I'm glad you're feeling it. It does for those people that are ready to be uplifted. I'm telling you. I had some stuff happen yesterday and I panicked because I thought, oh my gosh, how am I ever going to handle this? And one of my very closest friends looked at me and she says, a wise woman once told me that if you think negative, you draw negative things. If you think positive, you'll draw positive things. And then she looked at me. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I did say that. It is true. So all of you lovelies out there, if you're thinking negative things, I'm never going to make it. Maybe your rent went up. Maybe you lost a job, or a husband lost a job, has to work out of town. There's a lot of things going on in our personal lives. And what I'm saying is keep the positivity, stay connected to God's spirit source, ask to see the truth, the love, and the light, period. And like I said, I have 2 advisors that send me information because I can't watch the world news, the politics, all that. It drives me crazy because I can see that chessboard. You all ask me sometimes how I see the future, and I can see them moving the chess pieces, and I can see what's going to happen to the world, and it's scary. So I have my advisors tell me what they're doing, and I usually get a briefing every day or every other day. And there's a lot of stuff going on in the world scene, and 'tis scary. But the end is not yet, okay? Remember, I work for the boss. I have guides and counsels, and I can't tell you what all. I had a lady in the store last week, and she's so funny. First time she ever met me, she's like, who do you talk to? Do you talk to deceased people? And she was so cute. And I said, I'll talk to anybody who will talk to me. So I don't so much like to talk to demonics or satanics or dark entities or dark forces. That's, not my gig. But if they're attached to somebody, if they're haunting their house, I have people suffer from depression, and they will literally have negative entities attached to them. No problem. Come see me. And we'll take them off, and we'll give you a shield, give you some love, and get you started. A lot of times people have anxiety about changing because they have those entities attached to them. Let's see here. Neptune says she told me something along the same lines and saw you last week. Awesome. That's great. I'm so glad that she saw me last week. And over here, Melina says, I'm scared too. Like I said, the end is not yet, but I am telling you, the hour is coming when we have to really have that connection. And I'm going to be teaching some more classes very soon. I'll announce when my new website is ready, because there'll be a list of them there, and some at the store about how to have that attunement. Because a lot of people say, Deanna, I can't hear my guides, I can't see my guides, and it's a matter of where you're attuned. And I want everybody who's watching, if you're not driving, to take your finger and tap on the closest surface. That's a frequency, that's a tune. And we live in a universe, meaning one song, one verse, one frequency. And of course, it's like a rainbow. A rainbow is one thing, but it's made up of many different colors. And there's some scary poo-poo going to be happening. And if you are connected, you're going to hear, your own voice maybe. What I hear, my own voice in my own head tells me to do something. I've learned to trust it. I go do it. things turn out just fine for me. Okay, and I'm getting ready to do the reading for the collective consciousness, and I have 3 monitors in here tonight. And I'm going to be putting it out pretty soon that I would like to have somebody come into the studio with me and help me hook up a camera so you all can see me shuffling. I haven't got there yet. Who knows? The way that some of the social media platforms are working and news media now, they're starting to filter out stuff like this. So who knows? That's why it's so important to stay connected. And I would encourage each and every one of you to, whatever your spiritual practice is, whatever God or guide or spirit being that you talk to, make sure they're of the light. Put them to the test. You heard me. Put them to the test. And make sure you're working with the beings of the light. Okay. So last week I had a lot of water, and one of you lovelies was telling me why, and I really super appreciate that. There's so many different modalities, you know, there's Akashic record reading and astrology and, you know, runes and all kinds of stuff. So I appreciate when you all chime in because I'm always learning. Anyway, okay, here's the Akashic record reading for January 31st, 2024, as if you haven't learned enough already. If you've enjoyed it tonight, oh yes, through February 6th. 2024. So if you all have enjoyed what I've been telling you, I am looking for feedback. I am changing how I interact on the social media platform these days. So like I said, I've got 3 monitors. And I'm changing how I interact and what information I share because you all have asked me to do things a little bit differently, and it's always good to hear feedback. So if you've enjoyed tonight, please leave a comment down below. If you haven't enjoyed tonight, you could reach out to me personally on my Facebook page. You can just message me. The store, you probably have to call and leave me a message. And Instagram, you could direct message me. If there's something you'd like to know, what would you like me to talk about? What kind of things do you want to know? What are you interested in? Because this platform isn't about me. It's about you all. And I'm here to serve. That's what my job is. That's why the boss put me on this planet at this time. And I was looking back at some of my early materials from like 10 years ago, and I'm reading them, and it's like I keep telling you all the same thing over and over. So I know what my mission is. Anyway. All right. So looking at January 31st, looking at the Akashic records, which I usually access mentally. And for those of you that have seen me, I use a dowsing instrument or a pendulum. But it's prettier. Cards are prettier, so that's why I use the cards. Okay. January, my pendulum just went overboard. It didn't like being talked about like that. Anyway. Okay. So January 31st, 2024 through February 6th. All right, 2024. So what I'm getting for the current momentum, it was very fascinating. It's the most beautiful card. It says Fortune's Wheel. Look at how pretty that card is. Fortune's Wheel. Look at that. Just gorgeous. Okay. Notice it has a number 10 on it. 0 and 1. Okay, wow, lots to unpack there. So I have an astrologer I listen to because he knows a lot, and it takes a lot to learn everything going on there. The alignment of the planets are direct. Okay, look that up. Basically, it means they're where they need to be in order for huge changes to happen. We are astrologically past the point that the founding fathers who established America, they signed the Declaration of Independence on the 4th, not the 3rd, to give us the longest stretch of energies to get, you know, most countries don't last as long as we have. And there's reason for that, why they did it. So we're in that aftermath. According to the astrological alignment and where we are in space and time, our planet is shifting. Those of you who've been with me a while, you know that it is shifted. It is shifted in two. Oh, great. Now my poor Facebook peeps over here on my personal page looks like, there it goes. Okay. So where was I? Oh yeah. So our world, our planet Earth is shifting in two, the higher frequency and the lower frequency. And there's lots to learn about that. You can come talk to me if you like or take one of my classes. But suffice it to say, I kept asking my guides, is it going to be like, when an embryo starts, that goes into two parts and then four and all that? And they said, no, it's about the frequency. So if you can imagine, this is horizontal, and as it tilts up, it'll eventually come to 90 degrees. So our Earth splitting in two is because the frequencies, not that they're doing this, but the frequencies are shifting higher and higher. So you're going to find more and more people that are going to come together as light workers, empaths, star seeds, like-minded people that are going to congregate together, whether it's communally on the phone, just knowing each other, to go through these dynamic times, because you're going to be able to see things other people don't see, and they're going to think you're a little wackadoo. And I've been wackadoo for years. Yeah, anyway. Little laughter in each and every show. Okay, so the fortune's wheel. The fortune's wheel right now is, my guides are telling me, something happened to me yesterday that put me in fear, because I was like, how am I going to handle this, And I've always been able to pivot and handle things, And so my guides are like, Deanna, up until now, your life has had fear in it, a lot of fear. And you built this strength. So here's the strength. Now it's 2024. We want you to take that strength and go forward and create good things. Take action on good things. See good things. Leave the fear behind. And the reason for that is because of frequency. If you, again, tap something near you, that's a frequency. That's a tune, a tone, or a frequency. And when you have a positive frequency that's going out to the universe, it will bring that to you. As long as you got your root chakra grounded and your crown chakra connected to your divine self. There's a lot going on there. And that's why, at For Heaven's Sake book, on this coming up Thursday, the week after, it'll be Thursday and Friday, that I go to Denver. I'm up in Loveland, and I go to Denver to see people one-to-one. Because a lot of you need some help with this, to dust off all your fear and your poop and non-self-belief, so that you can grab onto your power and take it back and feel lighter. Everybody that saw me last week said they felt lighter. Some people felt tinglies on their head. Some people felt goose pimples. Some people said the Coca-Cola bubbles, but all of them felt lighter. One woman came up with an upper respiratory infection. She'd had it for almost 7 days. And she's like, I am miserable. And I've heard this. Actually, another gal I know, these are lasting a long time. So we cleared the energies that were being stored in her energy field, and boom, her nose popped open and her chest almost cleared up instantly. Does that happen every time? No. But these are the things I'm seeing, getting rid of these energies. All right. So this week it is the Wheel of Fortune. Bottom line, you decide where you're going and you aim there. And you leave the fear behind. And every time the fear or the negative thoughts come in your mind, you find a way to deal with it. If you need help with that, come see me and I will teach you. Okay. Then the current energy, which is, I couldn't have pulled these better if I tried. Love. Oops, let's see if I can get this in the camera. Love and strength. Okay? Love and strength. So what we have going on right now is learning to be in vibrational frequency with love that comes from divine source, the fifth dimension, if you will. When you have love, there's no duality. There's no good and bad. It is a beautiful frequency. In my meditations, I get to feel it's like, oh, I don't ever want to leave here. This is fantastic. Okay? It is the absence, if you will. It's the absence of fear. And the world scene is attempting to put us into a lot of fear. Enough said. So, find your strength within, with your connection. Okay? Somebody told me the other day, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I'm going to call BS on that one. It's absolute baloney. Whatever doesn't kill you usually makes you hard, makes you numb, makes you full of anxiety. Okay? It's just a way of getting people to stuff their energies down. Oh, it didn't kill me. I'm stronger. Look at me. No. So it takes work and it takes courage and it takes strength to find the love within yourself that keeps you connected to God's Spirit Source, period. Strength. Take strength and courage to move forward and take action. I know I did it today when I got out of bed. I was so disturbed by what had happened. I didn't want to get out of bed because I didn't know if it was going to get any better. And then I said, you know what? Spirit will provide. And I got up and I've had a beautiful day. A long one, but here I am. All right. So what I see coming up for this week, things you might be feeling, energy shifts you might be feeling, and then I'll go back and I will take some questions. So if you have them, put them down here. Again, if you found this to be of any use to you, give me a thumbs up, a smiley face, something to let me know. If you have a question you want me to answer next week, let me know. And for those of you that are in anxiety, I want you to listen closely. One of my clients, I reached out to her today. She was supposed to make an appointment. She didn't. I want to make sure she was all right. And she said, Deanna, I'm in so much anxiety. I feel like I can't even reach out my shell to contact you. I'm so glad you called. So maybe you might be feeling like that. Like the anxiety is just so bad, you can't reach out of your little turtle shell to get help. Do it. Take the action. Come see me. Let's clean your energy field off and get you aligned and get you ready for whatever your next step is, okay? Mwah. Okay, coming up, we've got the Four of Fire. So you have to be on fire and passionate this week. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Air, you're going to get some lift. One of my ladies over here on the other Facebook page, she says, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling that lift, and I am too. When I got up out of bed today and I took steps forward and I was positive and I interacted with the people that I had, I was working with today, not clients in my personal life, even though I was scared to do so, it turned out okay. And it got things taken care of, okay? And then I've also got the 6th of air. So you all are going to be getting some air to lift you up, okay? Lift you up, that strength, that love. And wherever you set your ship sailing, that's the direction it's going to go, okay? That's the direction it's going. But you got to be on fire about it. If you're sitting on your laurels, and you're not taking steps forward, you're going to go nowhere fast. All right, I'm going to look at some questions and see what we've got going on. Thank you, everybody, for coming on and allow me to serve you tonight. Let's see. Okay, yeah. I got one gal that's saying that I'm cutting in and out. And that, I don't know if that's the sunspots tonight or what. It did take me a while to get on. That's why it's whatever, 9:30 or almost 10 o'clock. I'm just getting on. Usually I'm on at 8:30. So I apologize for that. Hopefully the replay will come. And then Somebody's asking me where am I going to be on Thursday, and I'm going to be at 4 Heaven Sake Books in Denver. Okay, that's 4 Heaven Sake Book in Denver. And for my Facebook peeps on my page, after I get done with this, I'll go and click on, and um, I'll put the address for you there so you can reach out and get a hold of them, or you can just direct message me if you'd like to see me on Thursday. We'll get you on the books. We can do a live real time like this if you can't make it down to the store. All right, let's see what we've got here. Somebody said it's a movie. No fear mongering. Believe in yourself. Absolutely, Treva. Hallelujah, girl. All right. JJ says I have more than 7 chakras open. Yes. So they're not meridians, but they're actual chakras. Yes, and they pulse when you're doing your Reiki healing. JJ, we have 725 minor chakras, my understanding. When I looked at where the Chinese acupressure and acupuncture are, there's more. So JJ, you were so on the money. I don't know where they all are. I haven't studied all the minor ones. It's usually everywhere you've been, and there's others. So congratulations on your work. You keep going. We will send you some love and light. We need more people spreading the beautiful work that you're doing. All right. And Darlene says, hello, Darlene. What's happening? All right, let's see. Neptune says, love laughing with you this live. I'm so glad that you love laughing with me. You all know that I'd love to laugh. Um, One of my things on my 2024 list to do is to publish an ebook so you all can learn more about my background. I do laugh a lot. I trust my guides. I trust God's Spirit Source. There are times when my guides tell me things and I think they're going to be one way and they turn out another, but I know there's an event coming, and I've been on this road a while, and I've been through a lot of poo-poo in my life, and I'd like to write a book and share that so that you all can see no matter how much poo-poo you've been through, how much abuse you've suffered, how much hurts and habits and hang-ups that you have, that you too can be centered in the love and the light, okay? The truth, the love, and the light. You can do it. Doesn't matter how battered or bruised or, you know, what you've been through, because God, Spirit, Source loves you. She says, I'm still learning to go with my instincts. Yes, absolutely. And we're all a work in progress. I asked my guides, I'm like, what's the point of my life? And they said to learn and grow. So you can learn the hard way or you can learn the easy way. And for those of you that come by and see me here weekly, it's usually because you want to learn the easy way. You're like, she said, don't do that, don't do that. Anyway, I did look at the website for heaven's sake.com. If you can't find it, direct message me. I'll answer you in the morning. And you go over there and click on practitioners, and then click on the Denver location, real easy, Denver, Indiana, DD, Denver, Indiana, and make sure that you're on that location and get on my books. When I looked before I got on, I had 3 or 4 appointments left. So if you don't find a time you like, just jump on next week, and I will be there on Thursday and Friday next week. So get the help you need, please. This is the time. Book a half hour. I recommend if it's your first time to at least do an hour, and we're going to get you feeling better. We're going to get that anxiety released, and maybe find out what's going on in your family lineage. Sometimes it's about you, sometimes it's about your baggage that you've got from your family. All right. Mwah! Big hugs and kisses to everybody. Woo, woo, woo. Go live your life. Go live your life. And I'll see you soon, okay? Have a great, wonderful night. Please share the video if you liked it. And